Good morning. It's been a while. I promise I haven't been slacking off. I've been working on my marathon training and everything that kind of goes along with it. I'm into week 8 now of the half marathon training, and honestly, up to this point, I really haven't had a whole lot to talk about. I've mentioned this before. After a little while, the workout just kind of becomes a grind. It just becomes day in, day out, kind of the same thing, and there's very little change. First 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks or so, progressed pretty easily. Body was adapting really, really well. It was going well. Long runs were getting longer. I'm up to my last long run was about 9 miles. So it's definitely getting up there. I'm not too far off of the 13.1 distance at this point. Though that last 4 miles, I'm sure, are going to be killers. But a couple things did come up this last week that I wanted to at least talk about, and I wanted to mention just a little bit. We went and did quite a bit of travel and some camping and whatever else in this last little bit. And last week, I don't know what it was last week. Make sure it was last week. Yeah, last week. We were coming off a camping trip, getting ready for another trip up to Spokane, go see my mom. And I didn't end up getting into the gym at all last week. I mean, not at all. I didn't go once. I normally go in Mondays and Wednesday nights for Pilates. I go in Tuesday and Thursday nights for weight training and additional cardio and other things. I got out, did my morning runs. I got out and did those. But two of the morning runs, Thursdays and Fridays of last week, I couldn't complete either of those runs. And for various issues. And it turns out running makes me poop. There, I said it. Stomach issues, muscle cramps, all kinds of stuff just going on. And it was difficult to finish those 2 runs. And it was frustrating and discouraging and just, it was frustrating. So I kind of channeled some of that anger and frustration into my long run this last Sunday, and it went really well, thankfully. I kind of needed it. To be totally honest, that 9 miles was very refreshing and very, very invigorating from a encouragement standpoint in my own, my own head, I guess. But one of the things that I found it was interesting, I got back from Spokane, and I didn't, I ate fairly well while I was up there. I didn't count my calories very well. But I found how easy it is and how quickly you can go the other direction. And I guess to a certain extent I found out just how fickle motivation can be. And what I mean by that is this. In less than a week of getting somewhat off of my schedule, in getting somewhat off of my counting of my calories, I weighed in at 258 on Tuesday of the week before that. Sunday of the week before that, and then I think I bumped up to like 259, 260 by like Wednesday or whatever. But anyway, point being, I got back, I weighed 266. Now, thankfully, most of that was water weight, and most of it's come off. I'm back down to like 260, 261 right now. But the point that I guess I'm trying to make here is it's somewhat frightening how quickly it can go the other direction, and how quickly you can undo 2 weeks worth of progress with a week's worth of thing. And I kind of liken it to this, and it's maybe a stupid analogy, but I'm going to use it anyway. It's almost like the weight that I'm trying to keep off is water that's up behind a dam. And every now and again there will be a small breach in that dam. Maybe I'll be stupid. I'll eat something I shouldn't eat. I'll have something with sugar in it, and I'll want more something with sugar. Or I'm on this new kick. I found this delicious stuff, and I have to be very careful with it. I can eat a whole bag, but it's a fire corn. It's like a jalapeno. It's got roasted, dried jalapenos in it. And it's like a cheesy pop. Oh, it's so good. And fairly low calorie. I just can't eat an entire bag of it at once. But anyway, point being, once I eat some of it, I want to eat more of it. So maybe that's like a little crack in the dam or something. And I put my finger in that, and I finally get that. I stop that up. But then see it crack down a little bit further over here. And I, reach over, and I can manage to get my finger in there. But I can't stop all of it, it seems like. And I worry to a certain extent, and worry's not the right word, because I have faith that, this is going to work out. But I'm somewhat anxious, I guess, for lack of a better term, that as soon as I stop, or if I ever stop, that this is all just going to come flooding back, that the dam will burst, that all of a sudden I'll be back up at, 300 some pounds or 400 pounds. I'll blow through my old weight and end up just gigantic. I don't know. So I guess the important lesson that I've taken away from the last couple of weeks is just how unbelievably crucial it is, even when you don't want to go, or when you've deemed that you're too busy, or that you deem that, this is going on or that's going on, just kind of sucking it up and getting out there and making it happen. This morning, for example, I just finished my Thursday run. It's my week 8, day 4, day 3 run. And this one's the interval run. So it was a 24-minute run at the beginning, a 2-minute interval, and then an 18-minute run to finish it up. And the distance is nothing. I mean, it was 5 miles roughly, just shy probably. I mean, I just did 9 miles on Sunday. It's no big deal, but I was tired this morning. I feel a little bit dehydrated. I just wasn't feeling it. And I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. And finally, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, you'd better get out and go, or you're not going to go. And I didn't want to go at all. I mean, at all. But, you know, it's one of those things. You just have to. And I guess part of the realization and part of the, I don't know, trepidation somewhat is, I guess I'm realizing that even though this is the new normal, what I don't want to feel like I'm going to have to do is train at this level for the rest of my life to keep this stuff off. And that's a little bit scary to a certain extent. And I'm hoping that I can get to a point where, you know, I can manage to maintain this without having to be training for a half marathon or a marathon or whatever else all the time. Because, you know, I can see that coming maybe in spurts, doing, you know, I want to do this marathon, so I ramp up to that. Or, you know, I want to do this, so I ramp up to that. I don't know how feasible keeping a constant state of readiness, quote unquote, is going to be. I don't know. I haven't really done a lot of research into it, but maybe you guys have. If you know anything about that, let me know. Just kind of keeping yourself constantly at that level to be able just to go and decide to run a marathon, or go and decide to run a half marathon if you want to. I don't know. Swimming and stuff's going pretty well. I'm starting to get better at that. I took talked to a buddy of mine up in Spokane who just ran a triathlon, the last go of it. One of the things that I've been struggling with in my swimming is getting my breathing regulated, and that's been one of the toughest things for me. And the guy was telling me, you know, breathe every third stroke. So, you know, you're first when your breath here, you go 1, you go 2, you go 3, but then you breathe the other side, and then you come back and you do. I had a really hard time getting that going. When I run, for example, I breathe in and out on every left foot. So it's breathe in, right foot, breathe out, breathe in, or right foot, sorry, breathe in, right foot, breathe out. And so I'm taking a lot of air in to make sure that all this is getting done. And it feels like I had to do the same thing with swimming, and it was just really, really tough to do with just that third stroke. So his suggestion was every stroke. So you're always on the same side, but every arm pull, basically, you're up and over. And so I tried it, and it seems to work a little bit better. I imagine I look like somebody just like, I don't know, thrashing around in the water, but, you know, it's coming along. A lot of it's coming along, just trying to kind of get everything all squared away. Somebody's flying a model airplane over at the fairgrounds right now. It just freaked me out a minute. It looked like a drone. I promise I didn't say anything about the government. Don't drone me, bro. Don't do it. Don't drone me. He's coming around for another pass. Anyway, I'll let you guys go for today. Run is done. It was enjoyable once I got out. Getting up and getting going on the run was a bit of a struggle, to be honest. And motivation levels up to this point, you know, like I said, up to this point, up to week 8, things have been great. I've been gung-ho about it, wanting to get out, wanting to go. And I think just that little lapse last week was enough to kind of set me back a little bit motivation-wise, fitness-wise, and just kind of all that package comes together to be able to give you your your strength and your mental fortitude to be able to get out. So hopefully we're back on the right track here a little bit, and hopefully we'll be kind of getting ourselves going a little bit more regularly. The boys want to come out and run with me tomorrow, so maybe I'll report back on that. And I told them it's 3 miles tomorrow. You guys sure? Oh yeah, I'm very fast. Okay, so we'll see how long they can kind of keep up. So that'll be kind of a fun little run tomorrow, but it's cute. They want to be healthy. They're trying to stretch in the living room and all that. So, you know, if anything else, this was beneficial in that my kids now have some sort of a healthy concept in the back of their head, I guess, which is important and good. So hopefully, you know, change that generation a little bit. So anyway, I'm gonna go. You guys take care. Have a great day. Get out, do something active, and something really big is driving by my house. Nope, street sweeper. At least the running lanes will be clean. Later, guys. Have a good day.